Going live.
I'm just double checking if the sound works.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and good Shabbos. Welcome from, well, kind of gloomy, overcast, and rainy West Virginia. It's been a week of a lot of wet, but there was some sun, and there were always good things to find during the week. But it is Shabbat now. We have reached Friday. It's that time where we can just take a couple of deep breaths and let go of the cares of the week and ease into Shabbat. And we're going to start Shabbat with lighting candles, and we're going to have Sam come forward and light candles for us this evening. And if you want to follow along, if you have the Siddur at home, we're on page 2 for the bracha for lighting Shabbat candles.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words which will speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahalik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has hallowed us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. And we'll continue on page 6 with the responsive reading. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, things to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
We're going to continue with Lecha Dodi on page 20, a song that comes to us from the mystics, who about this time of year would go out dressed in white up in the Upper Galil in Sfat. They would dress in white as the sun was setting over the hills, and they would sing Lecha Dodi. And this evening we'll sing, let's shake things up a little bit. Let's sing the first 2 verses and the last verse. The first 2 verses and the last verse. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela, Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, bohi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha uv'sohala, Toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. We'll turn to page 22, and let's read together the top paragraph of a psalm, a song for Shabbat. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High, to proclaim your steadfast love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. With a 10-stringed harp, with voice and lyre together, you have gladdened me by your deeds, Adonai. I shout for joy at your handiwork. How great are your works, Adonai! How very subtle your designs. A brute cannot know, a fool cannot understand this. And in the Hebrew, Tzadika tamar yifrach, ke'erez balvanon yiskeshetuli, beveit Adonai, bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Ojenuvun beseva, dishenim vera'ananim, yiyu lehagid, ki yashar Adonai, tzuri v'lo avlatabo. We turn to page 24. We'll continue as we welcome the angels that come to spend Shabbat with us, the two angels that will accompany us home from synagogue or will join us at our homes. Shalom Aleichem, page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Well, Shabbat is with us. We've welcomed the Shabbat bride to be with us, and we'll continue with Arvit, the evening service. You'll find that on page 145. Page 145. V'yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach Yerutei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, v'yimeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam olam me'almaya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, Shmei Kedusha Brichu Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Damiram V'Alma V'Yimeru Amen. We're on page 146, the call to formal worship, Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed. On page 147, let's read together at the bottom. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim. And let's continue on the top of page 148, Ahavat Olam, and this week let's use one of the more traditional tunes. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shochveinu u'vkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla Ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol vavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miotecha V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al vavecha V'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta bam V'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvlektecha v'derech Uv'shokbecha v'kumecha Ukshartam liot al yadecha V'hayu latotafot b'neinecha Uchtaftam al mezuzot beitecha Uvisharecha Leman tiskeru V'asitem et chol mitzvotai V'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. On page 151, let's read responsively in the English. We worship the power that unites the universe, a promise of harmony for all.
Yet that oneness eludes our grasp as an imperfection and evil bound.
Before our eyes, there is a vision of perfection, order, and goodness.
There is evil enough to break the heart, and there is good enough to exalt the soul.
When will redemption come?
We grant everyone what we claim for ourselves.
Long ago, we escaped the tyranny of Egypt. Our people saw the power of the Most High.
We learned God's presence redeems time and event, so we celebrate this power that makes for freedom.
Top of page 152, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai. Mi Chamocha Nedar Ba'kodesh. Nahora Tehilot Ohosef ele, Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, Bokeam lifnei Moshe, Zeili hanu v'amru, Adonai imloch li'olam va'ed, V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo mi'at chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Scott, you want to help out on 153 with Hashivenu?
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
And together in English, in the middle of the page, 153. Give us a place to rest, O Lord. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 154, verses from the book of Shemot, from the book of Exodus, Vishamru. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, Oti li'olam, Oti li'olam, Oti li'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. We're now on page 155 and following for the Amidah, the prayer for Friday night. You can follow along with us in your Sidurim or offer up your own silent prayer at this time. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ahel Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Imahot, U'Mevii Goel Ibnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Atah Rav Lahoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Holy, Umatir Asurim, Umekayehem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha B'Gevorot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hametim. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find peace this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may we all live in such a way that this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And let's read together on page 161. Be gracious, Adonai, our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. May our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. We're at Modim Anachnu Lach, thanking God for all the gifts that God has given us. And let's read on the top of page 163. We can do this responsibly. For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise.
For the desire in us, which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
Top of page 164, Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael v'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech ata mo Yisrael b'shalom. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of the world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace.
Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. And every Amidah ends with two pleas for peace. We have Shalom Rav, and then we have Oseh Shalom on page 167. Page 167, Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Uyaseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Now we jump ahead to page 253. Page 253, the Mishaberach, the prayer for healing. If you have someone who needs healing this Shabbat, please keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers as we continue in the middle of the page, 253. Mishaberach avoteinu mikor habracha Limotenu. Bless the source of strength
us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mikor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Page 258, the prayer for our congregation, and let's read this together. Source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction, and may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And the prayer for our country. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry, and take the rich and poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing, and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. And at the bottom of page 259, the prayer for Israel. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawn of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. All right, friends, this Shabbat, we will be reading Parashat Emor. And there are a couple of interesting things that happen. Since it's the book of Leviticus, a good chunk of this week's Torah portion deals with the laws regarding the lives of the priests. And we get a couple of interesting laws for the priests. Over the past weeks, we've learned how they dress. We've learned about the sacrifices that they offer. And this week, we learned that they can't touch dead bodies because dead bodies will make them impure. They can only attend to the dead if they are an immediate relative, a parent, a spouse, or a child. Other than that, the Kohanim have to distance themselves from dead bodies. And the Kohen can't marry a divorced woman. He can only marry a virgin. And we also learn that all offerings donated by Israelites or by non-Israelites are acceptable in the sanctuary. If they are blemished, if they have some sort of mark, or if they're contaminated, these offerings will be rejected no matter who offers them. So that's the first part of the Torah reading. Then we get a section on Moedei Adonai, on the holy times of God, the festivals of God. And we get a statement about Pesach, Passover, Shavuot, which is coming up in about 3 weeks, and Sukkot. These are the three major festivals in the Torah, and these are called Shalosh Regalim. These are called the foot festivals. These are the festivals, the 3 times of the year that you would have to make your way to Jerusalem to worship at the temple. And in the middle of this discussion about holy days, we get an insert about the care for the poor.
right? We talked a little bit last week about how our code of law is religious and ethical side by side. You really can't have one without the other, right? So if you do all the religious aspects of the Torah and you forget to take care of the poor, and if you forget to love your neighbor and you don't take care of your community, then the Torah would say you're not a good Jew. If you focus only on the ethical pieces and you forget the religious pieces, the Torah would say, no, you need them both. You need to have the religious and the ethical together. And so we get this insert saying that we're to leave the edges of the field, the corners of the field, and the gleanings, the stuff that falls down as we're harvesting, we leave that for the poor. And then we get a little bit on the two other festivals or the two other holy days of the year, Rosh Hashanah, where it says that we are to hear the sound of the shofar. And then we get a restatement about Yom Kippur, where we're not to do any work. It's to be a day of self-denial, and we are to fast. So that's the second piece that makes up this week's Torah portion. And the third deals with capital punishment and also what to do in cases where somebody is hurt. So capital punishment is for blasphemy, where someone uses God's name, or for murder. That's how it's set up this week. And this week it talks about capital punishment only for murder. And if you commit bodily harm to somebody, if you hurt them in another way, we get this statement, or actually it's a restatement from the book of Exodus, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a limb for a limb. And the rabbis say that this was not meant to be literal, but it's financial. If I were to poke out someone's eye, then I would have to compensate them for what their eye is worth. And one of the more radical parts of the Torah this week is that this law of capital punishment and this law of an eye for an eye is to apply to both the Israelite and the non-Israelite. They're to be treated with the same standard of justice. So there's no one rule for the Israelite and another rule for the non-Israelite. If we're living together in community, the non-Israelite is treated with the same standard of justice as the Israelite. And that's this week's Torah portion in a nutshell. And so, but what I want to talk about a little bit this week is what's wrong. I get asked that question a lot. What's wrong, Rabbi? You don't look happy. What's wrong? What's going on? Well, nowadays, when we're asked that question, it's really easy to be negative. It's that we can only see the negative that's going on in the world. We can't do what we want. We're stuck at home. We're bored. Everything is falling apart. The world as we know it has changed overnight, and we're upset about that. And so if you're like me, it's always easier to focus on the bad, how bad things are. When I'm in traffic, I always hit every red light. Well, that's not true. It just feels that way when I'm stuck in traffic and I want to get somewhere. And it always happens to me. This always happens to me. My life is just one red light after another. I guess if there were a glass that were in front of me and it was halfway filled with water, I would see that I'm the kind of the glass is half empty type of person, right? But I would love to be the glass is half full. And that's what I want us to focus on this week, right? Do bad things always outweigh the good? In other words, is there more bad than good in the world? And I would argue no. It just seems that it's what we focus on. If we're looking at the glass and we want it to be half empty, that's what we're going to see. If we're looking at the glass and we're an optimist and we say then it's half full. And so it's time to adopt a new attitude, an attitude of gratitude. Right? In our tradition, Judaism focuses on the good. I know that there are a lot of bad things that have happened to us over our history, but Judaism teaches us to focus on the good. We're taught by the rabbis to say 100 blessings every day. Each day it's incumbent upon us to recite 100 brachot, acknowledging the good in our lives. Whether it's the blessing over an apple, when we sit to eat an apple, we take a moment and acknowledge the fact that we're blessed to be able to eat an apple. Whether we say Modeh Ani when we get up in the morning, thanking God for giving us our soul back, we acknowledge the good in our lives. So every day we should take time to ask ourselves, what good has happened to me today? And it can't all be bad, because I'll tell you what, if you get up in the morning, you're already off to a good start, right? That should be something that we're all profoundly grateful for. What are we thankful for? Just getting up in the morning. Many years ago, I was playing with one of my, well, I guess I just had one dog at the time, and I bent down and I threw my back out. And I couldn't stand up straight for 2 weeks. But the day that I could stand up straight, something that we all take for granted, and I had no pain, I was tremendously grateful for that. So it doesn't have to be something huge that we have gratitude for. The attitude of gratitude is, I woke up. I can walk. I have people who love me. There's a song, I think there's a song in some Broadway musical, Accentuate the Positive.
Mhm.
What musical?
Cole Porter. It's not coming to me.
It's not coming to me. We have theater people here. We have English majors here, and we can't come up with who said accentuate the positive. But that's it. Cole Porter, right? But it's Cole Porter who said it. But we need to accentuate the positive, especially in a world that seems to be filled with negative right now. We can't do what we want. We can't be here in synagogue, in community. But we are gathered together virtually. We are having services. So that's something to be thankful for. And for me, this week, I'm glad I made it to Shabbat. I've been fixing up my office at home. I've been fixing up my office here at the synagogue. And it's just been a busy week. And I'm glad right now that I made it to Shabbat. Look for the good. Start right now. I'm sure you'll find it because the good is there. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. All right, we are nearing the end of our service. We're on page 282. Page 282. Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula liotzer breishi. Shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot hadama. Shelo sam chelkeinu kahen, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. V'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noten Shamayim V'Yoseh Haaretz, U'Moshe V'Karo B'Shamayim Ima'al, U'Shchinatu Zo, V'Govhei Meromim, U'Eloheinu Einod, Emet Malkeinu Efesu Lato, Hakatu V'Torato, V'Yadata Hayom, V'Yashashtemata, El Avavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim Imal, V'Ya'aretz, Mitachat Eino. On page 285, let's read together. Let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz. Hayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad. U'shemo echad. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This week we observe the following yard sites. Abe B. Hyman, Jack's father. Robert Cantor, Rena's brother. Sam Horowitz, Ida Strauss's relative. Sharon Simons, wife of Bob, daughter of Saul Kaplan and Harriet. Isidore Herbert, Harold Herbert's brother. Sam Hyman, Jack Hyman's cousin. Ida Lerner, Ike's sister-in-law. Harry Paul Schenker, Ella Ritter's father, married to Sarah. Anna Kenner Hartz, Murray's great aunt. Evelyn Imogene Morris Smith, James's mother. Frances Schoenfeld Stein, married to Ike Schoenfeld and mother to Tony and Jane. Andrew W. Van der Lask, nephew of Alan and Sally Siegel. Rhonda Van der Lask, wife of Andrew. Goldie Fetter, Simon's wife, mother to Lawrence, Marjorie, and Carol. Anna Hyman, Jack Hyman's aunt, married to Jacob. Lois Fleming King, mother of David, mother-in-law to Marilyn Poland. Robert Rosenberg, brother-in-law of Lynn Mayer. Joseph Fish, Francis's father. Helen Krasnow, mother of Dr. Michael Krasnow. Faye Muffson, Murray's mother. May their souls be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May their memories be a blessing to us, and may they all rest in peace. Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 294. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma Tivrach Hirutei, V'yamlik Malchutei, V'chayichon, V'yomechon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agala V'zman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabam Varach V'olam Lamel Maya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpahar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh. V'yithadar V'yitalev V'yithalal Shmei Dekudusha Brichu. Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tushbachata V'nechamata. Damiram V'yalma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. All right, friends, just a couple of quick announcements. Services tomorrow, tune in to be with us at 10 a.m. and then on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Sam, do we have any other announcements?
Board meeting
Board meeting Tuesday night
at 7:00.
at 7:00.
Check your emails for the login information.
All right, those of you who are on the Board of Trustees, meeting at 7:00 Tuesday night, check your email for the login details. And I think that's it. So again, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I want to thank Scott for being our tech guru and our part of our choir, and Sam and James for being the rest of the choir tonight. And so we're going to close out with, let's close out with Adon Olam. Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Li'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimlok Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Oveh Vehu Yeh B'tifara Vehu Echad V'ein Sheni Laham Shilo Lehachbira Beli Reishi Beli Tachlit Velo Haoz V'Hamisra Vehu Eli V'chai Goali V'tzor Hevli V'eit Sahara V'hu Nisi Humanosli Minat Kosi Biomekra Niado Avkid Ruchi V'etishan V'ayira V'im Ruchi Giviati Adonai li v'lo ira. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos. Be safe out there.